Okay, I just clicked record.
You're watching Forget Being Cool.
It's Forget Being Cool for April 20th, 2020. My name is Dave Moore. Joining me, of course, is my main man, my man on the internet, Johnny_Spaghetti Ravioli Xbox Series X Macaroni Avocado I don't know. I don't got one. Johnny Casino.
No, you don't.
Johnny Casino. I was like, I can remember the entire pattern of words, but I can't remember if I had one to add. I don't have one to add. Too late. Yeah. That's how my brain works. Hi, John.
Hi, Dave. Hey, Dave. So before I forget about this, I have a new computer monitor.
Oh, hi. Hi, new computer monitor. My name is Dave. I like being on you. It's really nice.
You're not actually on that one. You're on my old computer monitor. So here's the thing is, I'm doing a lot of work from home. So I'm actually docking my work computer Are
you, Johnny? You're doing a lot of work from home? Do you want to talk about why we're doing a lot of work from home?
Well, so funny enough, that's actually not the reason. Like,
you
if
say
it was
that
just because of that, I would just not be working at all. But because I'm working with the local guys, I'm doing a lot more work from home. And so I'm actually docking my computer that I've had for work for a year. This is the first time I'm actually using it docked. And I'm like, if I'm going to use it docked, then I'm going to take them up on their offer to buy me a computer monitor to go with this dock. So right now the computer monitor is split between my regular computer and my work computer. So it's a 27. It's very pretty. It was very inexpensive.
I like my big 27-inch 5K monitor. I enjoy it a lot.
So I think this one does 4K. I assume it does. Yeah, I think it does 4K. But if it didn't, it wouldn't matter, right? I'm not playing anything 4K on it. But here's the thing. So I set it up, and at first I had it up with so I had 3 monitors, and it was just taking up too much of my desk, right? So it was my other one's like a 24, I think, and this is a 27, and then my other one was like a 20-inch 1080p TV, which apparently they, like 1 or 2 brands actually make small 1080p TVs.
I set my desk up when I moved to this house originally that way with 3 monitors.
It's insane.
No, it's too much. I tore it down, and I actually had that monitor tucked off to the side for a while, and then I moved it, and it's on the floor right there because I had it for my Raspberry Pi set up temporarily.
We'll see. The other thing that actually spurred this was I was going to take that little TV and put it into the arcade cabinet, which I'm not doing it that way anymore. But here's what I was going to tell you about this monitor. This monitor is nice. It's pretty. It's bigger. It's in the middle of my computer, so it's not the one I'm looking at you at. I look at you at the corner one. It doesn't have a headphone jack.
John, you are the only person in the world that this affects.
I agree. But because of my setup, I need at least 2 headphone jacks.
I'll tell you my workaround for that.
Okay.
The original way that I recorded this show and used the soundboard.
Yeah.
I used an entirely separate computer.
Well, I am using a separate computer. I am not recording on the computer that I'm talking to you on. I've done it before.
Yes, and it's very doable. It's a little bit more convenient to have too, or at least I find it more convenient when I'm doing that. This setup is really easy now, but I can only record the call and I can't do fun stuff.
So the reason I use 2 is because what I was doing for a while is I'd record it on my laptop, and then if I want to edit it somewhere else, I can. Now, a lot of times this just hasn't been the case. I'll end up in my office editing it, so I don't know what difference it makes. Or I'd edit on the road. I wanted one computer that does all the editing, so it needs to be one that I can carry around with me. So, but anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I can't use certain headphone jacks. Just aren't working as well. It's hard to get the buzz and stuff like that. So I'm looking at the back of this thing, and I'm trying to plug this headphone piece into it somewhere. Can't plug it in anywhere. I'm looking it up online. Nope. It turns out it does not have a headphone jack. And I guess I was just thrown off by this. Is it normal or abnormal to have this.
I think it's... Oh, this is a weird one. I feel like every monitor made in the years like 2010 to like 2016 had these headphone jacks. And why? I'm not entirely sure. It seems like the general purpose office setup is that you would plug your monitor's audio port into your computer. Then that would go to the speakers. And then if you wanted to use headphones as a weird business person in an office, you'd plug it into your monitor because that would be easier to reach than your computer that might be tucked under your desk or, whatever. That's the idea behind it, I think. I've never used those jacks for anything.
So you want to hear the weirdest problem I have now that I don't have that TV as one of my monitors?
What, John?
So now I no longer have external speakers on my desktop. Like the only thing I can do is use headphones. And I don't know, I might have a pair of speakers sitting around somewhere that I can just plug in. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
So that's the dilemma that I've had, where I thought, man, it'd be really nice to have a setup, just not great, but cheapo kind of desktop speakers. This is a thing I can't find. It's not like absolute crap.
Dude, they make them. They make them. It's not a big deal. I might have a pair, but here's where it comes into play, because I have a TV in my room. Like in this room, there's a TV hanging on the wall. By the way, I mounted the TV yesterday, like where it's going to go for this whole arcade retro gaming setup and all that.
Very cool.
So I have that.
Very cool. I've got stories to tell you about my Raspberry Pi.
Oh no,
we'll get there.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But if I want to watch Netflix or something in here, I have that. If I want to play my video games, I have that. I don't play many games on my desktop, even though it can handle them, because my laptop's actually better than my desktop. And, that I can take with me to play games if I want to do that, like I did last night. But here's where it gets me is sometimes I'm in this room and I want to watch Netflix, but not American Netflix. Sometimes I want to watch, say, Canadian Netflix, because there's a show on there that's not on the American one. So I have a VPN and I can connect to Vancouver and get Canadian Netflix, watch a show that's not on the US Netflix, except for I have to wear my headphones if I want to put it on my regular computer.
So this is a whole other conversation about VPNs, and I had a VPN and do the same exact thing. I wish I could set it up to have a switch, like on the side of my router, even that just says, please put me in this, like my entire network. Just put me somewhere else temporarily.
Well, so I have not played with VPNs very often, right?
I haven't either. I know this is a thing I probably could do.
Yeah, you can install them on your router somehow.
Yes.
So it makes your whole house on a VPN. Now,
except it would slow your network down so much that you would regret it.
I've heard that some VPNs are very, very fast. Like the one that Ben told me about that he uses, very, very fast.
NordVPN.
What's that?
NordVPN.
No, that's not the one he uses, I don't think. But it doesn't matter. But I don't know if very, very fast still knocks you down a bit or enough that you'd even notice or care. I
just want to mention all the VPNs that sponsor podcasts. NordVPN, ExpressVPN. What are the other ones, John? Keep going.
I don't know. I use Surfshark because I got it for really cheap for 2 years.
I
use $40 for 2 years.
I use ExpressVPN. I think I paid $75 for 5 years or something ridiculous.
Oh wow! I did not find a deal like that on ExpressVPN. It was definitely $100 for a year when I went to look at it.
Yeah, not what I paid.
Yeah. So
thanks to some podcasts for giving me a discount code of some kind too. On top of that.
So all this to say, I have a new monitor that I cannot hook headphones into, and I was very confused by this. Also, I went out to Walmart yesterday because I need a new printer, because there's these things I have to be able to print out to be able to keep in my car for when I work with someone else that has to get filled out, or if for some reason they were to lock down my state, hardcore lockdown, which doesn't look like it's going to happen ever. But I have to be able to show this piece of paper that shows that, hey, no, my job is essential. I have to be able to be out. And my printer was having issues. So
I don't even own a printer.
Oh, well, that's weird. My boss is like, yeah, go buy a printer. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm gonna grab a printer, and I needed some hardware to finish putting together this, arcade thing. I needed to mount the TV. I needed some hardware, and I get there, sold out. They did not have a printer in the store to sell. They did not have a computer in the store to sell. Like,
yes, welcome to the entire world decided to work from home.
And I didn't even think about that though.
Everybody bought a printer and a fax machine or something.
Okay, no one uses fax machines anymore.
That's not true.
So, but most printers can fax.
You know what? I'm hearing myself. You know what's funny about faxing, John?
What?
I've never faxed anything in my life, and I don't think I ever will. The same way that I've never written a check. Like I've never I've never handwritten a check. Like I've gone to the bank and had to get a check, like a cashier's check to send to something. But I paid all my bills online.
I remember when checks were like the norm, and now it's like you go to the grocery store and it's some like 95-year-old lady writing a check in front of you at the grocery store, and you're just like, dear God, please.
Yeah, yes, right.
Please don't do this. There should be like a line that's only open once a week for like 2 hours. That's just for people writing checks.
No, so when I got the house, and I had to write checks plenty of times, like for all sorts of stupid stuff, and I was like, Rachel, you got to write these checks because I can't break this record now. So not that I didn't contribute the money, right? Like it was a joint effort, but I'm like, nope, I'm gonna never write a check in my life. This is a thing now.
I cannot wait for the moment when something happens and you have no choice. Like, do you own a checkbook? Do you have a checkbook?
I don't have checks. I don't have a checkbook. I'd have to go to the bank to get checks. I think it would cost me $20, which I'm not gonna do. That's dumb.
We always have checks because you just never know when you're gonna need one.
Every contractor I've had who's worked on the house to do something has let me pay them through what's the other podcast sponsor that is on every other show.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Chimp Pay Squirrel.
Well, when I make my next app, it's going to be called Chimp Pay Squirrel.
Somebody's going to know what it is.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah. No. So no, I've got to maintain this streak of never writing a check in my life.
That's hideous. That's hideous and amazing. So Dave,
yeah,
I'll tell you this to lead into it. So my arcade setup is completely ready to go, except for it does not have the actual computer that plays it. So right now you can kind of see it out of the corner. I have it sitting here facing my computer, so I can use my computer to run MAME, to be able to play with it and whatever. It's all ready to go, and I cannot wait. And I still have to wait for a week from the day this comes out. So this comes out tomorrow morning. 1 week, I still have to wait. And that's if this thing shows up on time.
So I will tell you, mine said it wasn't going to be delivered till today as we're recording this.
Yeah.
Basically everything was supposed to be here today. It came 2 days early.
Yeah, well, lucky you. Because mine does not seem to be wanting to do that.
So, John, I cheated. You want to talk about our Raspberry Pis?
I want to hear about yours.
One, it's way tinier than I thought. I knew it was tiny. I knew it was a tiny computer, but holding this thing in my hand, I was like, well, damn, that is really small.
Okay.
The case I bought, love the case I bought. Love the cables I bought. I wish there was a good way to turn it on and off. I feel like I need to wire in a switch of some kind.
Oh, my power supply comes with a switch on it.
I think my power supply has a switch on it. I'm not sure. I didn't look. It's the same. It's the one that comes in all the kits. I bought the same power supply.
Then it probably has a switch on it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's awesome. I put it together with Rachel's help because she's not blind and can see tiny little screws. And then, because she's great. And then I plugged this thing in. And I'm like, great, perfect. Now I got to go get an image. I've got to get Raspbian, and then I've got to somehow get, RetroPie to boot on Raspbian. Okay, so that's the way you should do it. And that's the way that the internet recommends you do it. That's what all the arcade blogs tell you to do.
Okay.
Now, I'm willing to take a little risk here. So I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. Somebody has to have compiled an image that would just do this. which was my original attempt. Right? I was just like, somebody's already made a blank version of Raspbian that's got RetroPie installed, and then all I have to do is run that, and it'll just boot. Right? Like, somebody created that, and I'm sure it is on the internet. But I didn't find that, John.
Okay.
I found a site I sent you to a bunch of torrents. Torrents is how you usually illegally pirate movies.
But this does not sound like it's an illegal thing. Like, going to their site, it does not seem like it's an illegal thing. It's just a way to download things.
I just say that because that's what torrents are for in most cases. But anyway, people created torrents of RetroPie images. Now, that means they've also compiled them to have the ROMs in them. Like, already in the emulators. So I was just like, I'm just going to try one of these out. Because I couldn't find a blank image, which is what I really would like. And if somebody can send me a link to an image that's running Raspbian that has Pi on top of it, and then I can do all the work myself from there, because I just don't want to. I don't want to go into the terminal and type in the code to, manually download RetroPie from a server using code. Like, I can, I just don't want to. It seems like a pain in the ass. It seems like you run into a lot of errors, and it seems like that code changes every week. And I don't want to do it, John. So, I downloaded a 64 gigabyte torrent file with all the ROMs installed. And
now, when you say all the ROMs installed, like, what ROMs?
Like, every ROM that they could fit into what they thought was the collection of games worth playing within the emulators that run within RetroPie. Now, I'll tell you, that thing runs Dreamcast games way better than you think it would. I was playing some original Soul Calibur, which I've never played in my entire life. God, that game is so fun. I played a lot of Soul Calibur 2. Soul Calibur 6 on Xbox One. Oh my God, I love that game. We haven't talked about that. We'll get there. Everybody, hi. Dave loves the game. It's amazing, and it's like usually under $20 without the DLC that costs another $75. But if you get that game, it's great. And if somebody wants to play Soul Calibur 6 with me online on Xbox or PS4, because I bought it on both, I will play it with you.
Wait, does this thing also have arcade games?
Yes, it has. It has more arcade games on it than anything else. Like, of the entire image that I installed, it's full of arcade games. Now, PS1 games work great. I played a little bit of Crash Bandicoot. Now, John, here's where this gets interesting.
Okay.
So I went to the Sega Genesis section.
Oh, God.
And I started scrolling through the Sega Genesis games. And something started to seem a little bit off. And I'm looking at these games going, that's not a game. That's not a real game. Was
it like porn games?
No, it was just weird, just weird games. And then I was like, something is wrong about this. And I keep scrolling through Sega Genesis games, and then Yoshi pops up. Now, Yoshi's in a Sonic circle, looking like, like the cover of Sonic the Hedgehog with Yoshi on it. And I'm like, oh, what is this? Because this isn't a thing. Like, 100%, a lot of these games look like they're Fako weirdo games. I'm like, okay, I gotta see this. Whatever this is, I've got to see it. So this is Sonic the Hedgehog riding Yoshi. So you've got full control of Yoshi like if you were Mario, but you can jump around like you're Sonic. This is a ROM hack of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, where you get to ride Yoshi. Freaking ridiculous, chaos, nonsense. This is also in that image.
Okay.
That's where this begins. Okay? So after I found that, which was an experience, mind you, I assure you, that was an experience. Something that everybody should find. And if you have an emulator on your computer, you should go find this ROM. I think it's just called like Yoshi as Sonic. Anyway, so I start going through Super Nintendo games, John.
Okay.
Now I wanted to play Super Mario Kart. Why? Because I feel like it's just a good test. So I scrolled.
It's a terrible game, though.
I like that game a lot. Anyway. Scrolling down, and I get to, where Super Mario Kart now is. Now, I'll tell you what's in the place of Super Mario Kart.
Okay.
Alphabetically, except it's not exactly alphabetical, but it's the closest thing to it was Super SpongeBob Kart.
Okay.
And they had changed the colors of everything on all the Super Mario Kart tracks. I'm not sure what the items were, unclear, and they swapped out all the Sprite characters with SpongeBob characters. But other than that, it was a ROM hack of Super Mario Kart. And that was an experience. So that's what my current RetroPie looks like. There's a lot of great games on there, fully functional, normal games. And then there's a bunch of crap like this thrown in there. And I say crap, but I also really enjoyed going through it. Also, my arcade cabinet now, well, my arcade box plays 80s music and has like Star Wars posters and all sorts of cool stuff just going on in the background. This is what I want it to look like when it's done, but I want it to be real games that I own, in some form.
So a few questions here.
Okay, John.
One, does it have real Genesis games on it as well, or just weird ROM hacks?
Yes, no, there's plenty of like Sonic the games, plenty of the Streets of Rage games. They're there. But is Michael Jackson's
Moonwalker on there?
I did not look for Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I do apologize, John.
I expect that the next time we talk, you will have played Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and can tell me about it.
Okay. I promise I will try to remember to do that.
I will try to remember to text you. Next.
Yes.
It's a 64 gig thing. So did it legitimately fit onto a 64 gig card?
Yes. It was like 63.85 gigs. It was a perfect image to fit on the 64 gig card.
Okay. And so you could just print it to the cart using
Etcher. Just use Etcher. I
downloaded Etcher.
Yeah, you
recently.
just put it using Etcher and it runs it. Now, what I plan to do with this is either one, find a smaller version of this that has less games so that I can add the games myself. That, or manually go in and start editing this package because it has all the cool 80s music on the menus. All the menus are redesigned so that it looks really cool. Everything's perfect, except it's full of these crap ROM hacks that I don't want in here.
So if I did it the way that everyone says you should do it, because I found this YouTube video that walks you through it, which is where I got a hold of Etcher and where I got a hold of like a Raspbian thing and something else that the guy had said.
ETA and Prime, I'm sure it's ETA Prime.
I don't remember, whoever, it doesn't matter. But if I do what this guy says, will I have these cool, like will my folders look dumb? Will they just not be as cool? Like, is this thing that you did something that would be important to do?
No,
because it's that much cooler.
I mean, I think it is important to do, but you can do it yourself. It's just you're going to set this up, right? You're going to get it working. And it's going to look fine, and you'll be able to use it, and you'll be able to add your games and play your games. And then you'll start digging a little deeper and like how to customize your menu. And then you'll learn how to, code the songs in. And you can do all these things one by yourself. And all these custom, designs that look better are available. Like, it's not like it's hard. It's just like you got to know where to go. Like, you got to go to the right sites and get the right images and build it yourself. And that's great. If you connect to the internet, you can scrape for most of your box art. So your box art looks cool. But but like sometimes you need to add in sources, like you manually need to go into the code and add, this site because this site has all these videos and the stuff that'll play. Like when it boots up, like it plays this like cool like arcade room full of like games and old 80s candy and posters, and it like plays this music and then like it comes into the TV and then everything's there on the TV. It's pretty cool.
So what's your recommendation? Like, which route should I go?
So I haven't had the time because I'm back to, working again since I got to play with it. But I'm going to see if I pull a smaller image from one of these sites and install it, if it'll give me the bare bone, like, basic. Like, here's everything cool that you want, but it's a little bit more stripped down. Like, it doesn't have all the games you want. And it doesn't have all the ROM hack crap in here. And see if I can build it a little bit myself, but I don't want to start completely from scratch. I don't think.
Okay. I like that idea. I like the idea of having it. I mean, there's part of me that's like, okay, if you do it this way, you can make it exactly how you want it. But there's also part of me that knows I'm not going to put forth that effort. Like,
Yeah,
let's say I wanted
right.
to boot up playing an Our Lady Peace song. I'm not going to probably go through the effort of doing that to get that Our Lady Peace song
Well,
on there.
not only that, it's that it has that song, but it also has like a weird like synthy kind of like this was made on an arcade chip version of that song. Like it's definitely the Ghostbusters theme, but it's playing, as it would be if it was playing off a Ghostbusters arcade machine in an arcade.
Okay.
Kind of stuff.
Next question.
Yes, John.
How difficult is it to go in there and to delete ROMs if they're garbage and you don't want them?
So I tried to do it the way I would do it, which is try to dig down into the SD card on my computer. Manually just do it that way.
Yeah.
Seems like I need to not do that. Because that
like
seems...
you need to do it from like after you've booted up the machine, go into it that way somehow.
I need to boot the machine up, and then remote in from another computer, and then do it.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, see, but I think that's the way you do it.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
If you start from a bare bones option, John, your option is to plug in a flash drive with the ROMs, and it will just like auto sort it, so it'll just add them into where they belong. And
so you can't wait. So if I want to put this thing on this flash drive, do it the quote right way, we'll say, put it in, like I have to get a separate thumbstick with all the ROMs on there and insert that into the Pi along with this. Like I can't just go into It
seems like removing things from the Pi is a lot harder than just going on the Pi and clicking a button that says delete this, right? Which is what you want it to be, but it's not that simple.
Okay. Next question.
Yes.
I think this is the last question I have. Have you built your arcade controller?
I'm using a USB PS3 third-party controller that I have that I like, but it has all the buttons on it. Just temporarily. That's it. That's all I've been using currently.
Okay, so basically, you have the computer half of this thing done.
I
have the controller half of this thing done.
Right, John. Yes, that's how this works.
So I finally went on. I don't know if I'd done this the last time. I finally went on and I put in I set in my retro game systems underneath this on the shelves, and I drilled the holes in the back so I can put the cords going through. I haven't actually run the cords because I don't have it next to my TV right now. I have all that done. I put feet on it because it's a little bit shallow, like the base is, and it's kind of wobbly, so I put feet on it so it's not wobbly anymore.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm excited, Dave.
Yeah,
but I still have to wait another week for this to show up.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have fun. I realize, and I knew this, and this is why I'm doing it this way, is because once you get the computer part running, like you're still only halfway there. Like this is a project, and that's why it's fun, and that's why this is a good time to do it. Because once I get it working the way I want, it's still like, okay, now I need to tweak this. I need to make sure that I have these games to play this way, right? So this is gonna be fun. Things I learned, John. The original Soul Calibur, awesome game.
So here's what the other thing I was wondering about, and I think I might try this out later, and I think I might need to rewire my controller to make this work the way I want to, which I don't want to do right now. So so you have the wires going from the controller to the breadboard or whatever the heck it's called. Right. Words I've learned from my son having that little build your own Raspberry Pi computer thing. And so when you have it that way, if you plug them in the right spot, they will automatically take the BXI or whatever. Right. But I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know what that layout is to make it right. And for this, it doesn't really matter. You can just map it. Like it's fine. But what I was thinking about doing is I have here in front of me the miniature PlayStation. Right, the PlayStation Classic or whatever the heck this thing is called, and it has the controllers are USB. Unlike the Nintendo ones, these controllers are USB.
Yeah, I thought about pulling those out. The reason I use this USB PS3 controller I had is because it has all the analog sticks, And when you boot up Pi, it's going to ask you to map the buttons. Now you can skip past buttons you don't have. Like if you don't have the analog sticks, it's fine. And I honestly probably would use those PS1 classic controllers because those are perfect controllers for everything I want to play.
Well, but that's not even what I was thinking about doing. What I was thinking about doing was trying to plug my controller that I built into my PS1 and seeing if I can play it like an arcade.
That's a kind of a brilliant idea, except for the fact that everything runs like crap on that machine. The other,
well, so here's the bigger problem is if there's no mapping involved, which there shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure my control sticks are turned 90 degrees.
Yes, John. So here's what it'll tell you. It'll tell you if you wired that thing right.
Well, it's not that it's wired wrong. So when I looked at it and I put them in, I had to kind of guess on which direction the control sticks go, right? Like, and I put it like, okay, this looks like this is going to be the top. Well, I must have been wrong, right?
Clearly.
And I don't know. I could look back through it and flip it over and see if there's something in there that would tell me. But I must have been wrong because
and they're both wrong.
When I try to map it and tell it to go up, it says, number one joystick left or something like that for up. And I'm like, well, that's weird.
Also, advice for you, John, because you haven't mapped the controller with the Pi yet.
Yeah.
This is advice for everybody, and no one tells you this. Map. So I was using a PlayStation controller. Right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to map A as X because that's how that controller is laid out. Don't map it that way. It's wrong.
Okay.
Then your PlayStation emulator will be wrong.
Oh, that's funny.
Because the PlayStation emulator accounts for the fact that B is X. So map your controller the way you'd map a Nintendo controller, no matter what controller you're using. Just that's
well.
You're using an arcade controller. I know this is just advice. If you want to plug in a USB controller, I learned my lesson. It's something that should be said. No one actually needs to learn this lesson because you and I are the only ones making this cabinet in this conversation.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's true. And it makes you wonder, like anyone who's listening, if they're like, God, they're talking about the arcade things again. But it's just, I don't know. Okay, Dave, I have another topic for you here.
Oh yeah, do you?
So a couple days ago or so, maybe a week ago, we talked how you were preparing to open your windows, and this blew my mind and all that stuff because like how do you prepare to open a window? You just slide it open. But here in Washington, it has been like let's say early in the morning it's been like upper 30s to lower 40s, and then during the day it's in like the mid 60s, and we don't have air conditioning here.
Weird,
right? I mean, you can get it.
It's like 75 degrees here. It's like the hottest it ever gets most of the time. Like we'll get like 2 days in the summer that's like 95. That's it. Yet the entire state has air conditioning. If you don't have air conditioning, something's wrong with you. No offense to people who don't have air conditioning. I realize that statement was a little bit rough. I realize there's people who can't afford air conditioning, and these are trying times, John, and I do apologize for those who don't have air conditioning.
So a lot of places in Washington state, or at least this part of it, don't have air conditioning. You just don't need it for the most part. But depending on the summer and how your house is located and, different things like that, it can get hot. Like last summer, it was a bit warm sometimes. And my wife might try to push me towards an air conditioner, which I'm going to strongly push back against because I've owned a house with air conditioner and you are always having to do something with it. Like it'll break at the worst time possible, and then you have to deal with it, and it's stupid expensive because it is the most corrupt business. Anyways, not the point. We don't have an air
John, I hate the air conditioning. Don't get me wrong. I don't want mine to break. I really don't, but I also could live without it.
Well, so here's what we've done here. Lately, we've been having the windows open. Usually sometime in the afternoon, we'll open it, right? So maybe a little bit earlier. So like right now, my window's open here in front of me, and we'll open some windows in the house. But here's the problem I've come across.
Did you realize that you're preparing to open the windows? Did you realize?
No.
Did you realize?
I just did it. There was no preparation needed. I walked up, and I made it happen. Okay. Except for our cat climbed the screen door today, which was a bit annoying.
That's super annoying. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I don't like that cat anyway. Anyway, so here's the problem I've come across is a lot of people are home. So maybe people are cooking outside more right now. And there's someone that lives near me, and I cannot say for sure who it is, that cooks food that maybe tastes amazing. I don't know, but it smells so bad. And like you can smell it on this entire block. Like, so my street and the street behind me and all the way down to the end where it U-turns from my street to the street behind me, you can smell this person's cooking. And it is so strong and it smells so bad. And it happens at least 2 or 3 times a week.
That's like, weird. That's really weird. I'm so sorry.
And I don't know who it is. I think there's like, it's like one of 3 houses, I think. Right?
Is it burning?
No, it's just the way the food smells.
Weird.
I know.
I like the smell of pretty much everything people cook outside.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Right? So
we've got a couple.
There's a meal.
We've got a couple like. Oh, I don't know the proper way to say this, so don't come after me, people. We've got a couple like Hispanic people, like 3 houses down. Okay. And they're cooking some weird Spanish food. Like, it's stuff I've never smelled in my life before. But yeah, I've been out there.
Right, it smells amazing.
But it smells great. And I keep thinking, man, like, if I could trade them some, like, you know, burgers.
Hot dogs? I mean, what do you got?
I make some really ballin' wings. Like, I'll cook my own wings outside. Like, if I could trade them some, like, really good hot wings with the, you know, homemade sauce and get some of whatever that is, I would do it. Anyway.
So like, what, okay. And my wife has had this meal. You actually haven't had it in forever. It's just like sweet and sour chicken that is so delicious. But when it cooked, it smells bad, right? Like it's this real strong vinegary smell. And that's not what this is. Like whatever this is something much stronger and not vinegar. It's terrible. But like when I cook outside, I'm grilling burgers, which I mean, maybe you can smell next door, maybe not. I don't have a real strong smell. Or I'm using my smoker, which I guarantee people around me can smell, but I'm like smoking a brisket for 12 hours and no one is going to be able to convince me that that does not smell amazing.
Right.
Right. But whatever these people cook, and it's in a pot, I believe, like almost like a big pot you cook like crawfish or something in, like the kind that I make beer in, and which is why I think I know what house it is. And I don't know what they're making, but it smells so bad.
You should go ask.
So bad.
You should go to start knocking on doors.
Yeah, but what do you say? Okay, here's the other issue.
You don't tell them it smells bad. You just say, "Hey, I keep smelling this smell." You just knock on this person's door. Here, let me break this down for you.
Did someone die?
You knock on the door and say, "Hey, I live in the neighborhood. I keep smelling this smell. Are you the guys like cooking? Like, are you guys cooking something? Because whatever it is, I'm just really curious because I think it might taste really good. You act like you're interested in tasting it. Now,
okay.
Now here's the backfire, John. Hold on. There's a potential backfire here. Let me emphasize this. That whatever it is doesn't only smell terrible, it tastes terrible, and now you are in a position where you need to try it.
Okay, Dave, I want you to picture something.
Okay.
Someone knocks on your door and basically says, "Hey, what you're cooking smells good. Give me some." That's effectively what you're telling me to say to these people.
No, I'm not.
No one does that.
No.
No way.
I'm not.
No way to approach someone's house and to say this, either good or bad. Like either one of them, it's either rude or it's creepy.
You are not asking to be given food.
Yes, you are. At that point, you would not go to someone. Okay, look, Dave, no one walks up to someone and says, "What you're cooking smells good. What is it?" Without kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I want that.
John, I'm just trying to give you some options. I want to know what it is.
So here's the thing: is like my neighborhood's on a hill, so like there's a huge slope between me and the houses behind me. Right. So I can see into all their backyards. Right. Like even with the 6-foot fence. And so like the neighbors, how do I say it? I live in a very culturally diverse neighborhood, like extremely culturally diverse neighborhood. Right. Like my next door neighbors on one side are from somewhere in Africa, and I cannot think of what country it is now. And on the other side, they're from India. And behind me, there's, I want to say 2 or 3 Asian families. Some rednecks that live down the street that are really nice, but they drive big truck that's loud, and I'm pretty sure they're rednecks.
Can we hold on? Stop there. Stop there,
Okay.
Sean. There's a guy. While we're talking about our neighbors, okay? Because he's never gonna hear this. There's a guy that built. I don't know what to describe this as, a scooter lawnmower machine, okay? And it is like a scooter, and it's not a lawnmower, but he like definitely slapped like a crappy lawnmower, motor on it and made it spin so he could go down the street. And this thing sounds like the worst truck you've ever had, backfiring over and over and over. And this dude drives this thing around 3 times a day in the block, like just around the block, which is open in the front of my house. You can see the street because there's no house, because it's like a parking lot across the street.
Yeah.
So you can see the street over. This dude just goes in that perfect little square over and over, and it's like, and he does it 3 times a day, every day that it's nice. I don't know if he's like building this thing to make it nice, like if he's trying to get it, tweaked exactly right, but it seems like he takes it home, changes it up a little bit, and then brings it back around and it sounds exactly the same. It looks like it's going exactly the same speed. I don't know. Anyway. I just want to complain about that guy.
Anyway, I don't know who it is.
And
the people behind me, like I've seen them cook, like maybe last summer, and it's once again, I think it's one of these 3 Asian families that's making this dish, right? But so there's one that lives right behind me. I've never talked to him, minus like an exchange of niceties from my back porch to theirs once or twice. But they've cooked some stuff, and it always smells great. Right. And then there's the one like 2 houses down where the kid is the same age as Ryan. And so he's come over and played with Ryan a number of times. And I'm pretty sure I've smelled them cooking stuff that smells really good. So either it's that house between them, or one of them has changed up and started cooking some just nasty smelling food. But it's so bad.
You're gonna know when that kid that hangs out with Ryan comes over. And he just smells.
No.
And he leaves, and then you like sit down on the couch where he was, and you're like, oh, all right, now I got to ask him next time.
Yeah,
also,
okay,
I just want
if he's hanging out cooking, like if he's the one out there stirring the giant pot, maybe. But no, he doesn't cook. That's not. Trust me, this kid does not cook.
I just want to emphasize I'm not complaining about this guy with this motorcycle scooter bike thing. Scooter lawnmower thing. I just want to acknowledge how funny I think it is. Okay.
Anyway, so that's my problem. That's my problem, is that someone 3 days a week probably cooks the nastiest smelling food, and it wafts into my house, and it's just no good. Hi, Dave.
John. Hi, John. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
You want to start the show over again? Let's just start from the beginning. Let's just take it from the top. I don't like any of that content. We should just do it again.
Dave, I wrote down a few things to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Funny enough, I have on here, because I haven't deleted certain things, I have on here Michael Jackson Moonwalker, which we deeply dove into yesterday or last time. Neighbors cooking smelly food.
Uh-huh.
I have a we'll steal the term. I have a recommendal.
Oh, yeah? Okay, I'm ready.
So a few weeks back, I saw this on Twitter, and probably a week ago, I actually watched a little bit of it. I haven't had time to dive into it very much. But Hasbro, right? Toy maker Hasbro.
Oh, is this the Lego show?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
But you can tell me that in a second.
I haven't watched the Lego show. I can't tell you anything about it other than that it's a reality show where you make Lego stuff. It's like master builders of whatever.
With Will Arnett is the host of that show.
I have not watched it. I very much want to watch this. I just have not sat down and watched it.
No. I don't want to see it. I've heard it's great. I don't care about it.
Oh.
No, Hasbro on their YouTube channel has now put up like 10 episodes of the original G.I. Joe cartoon.
Oh.
Yes. And it is just as bad and amazing as you remember. Like, I only watched about one episode when I was in here doing some work one day. But oh man, it made me so happy because I tried to get a hold of a copy and I can't.
This is a thing I don't understand why companies who own these IPs don't do it more. Is just upload their show to YouTube. Like what is the harm? Well,
I guess in theory they could sell the DVDs if they're out there.
Yeah, because everybody buys DVDs, John.
Some people do.
Yeah, I'm not saying
I buy DVDs.
If they bundle a DVD with a bunch of special features and stuff, sure. I have some DVD box sets.
Hold on. This is what I want more than anything. Now that you've said that, is I want G.I. Joe, the complete series, where every episode is like the director's cut and has the voiceover commentary, not from the voice actors, but from the actual characters. I want Duke to be talking to like Lady J and just be like, oh, Lady J, remember where we shot that scene? It took us like 6 times because I could not hit that guy that was running up the hill. I just kept missing it. And Lady J's like, ha ha, I know you looked like such an idiot. Oh, and Sergeant Slaughter, I'm not going to say Sergeant Slaughter because I can't do a Sergeant Slaughter voice, but he comes in, he's just like, you knuckleheads or something like that. And then you see Cobra is like sitting there cackling and like, oh man. And then at the end you find out like all of them go have like coffee together, like the good guys and the bad guys.
See, but your excitement over this proves to me that they should upload this stuff to YouTube. Because people are gonna watch it. So bad. People will watch it. It will get memed. It'll blow up, and they'll make a ton of money on ad revenue. What's the harm?
That's true.
That's
true. The ad revenue will give them more money than they're making off that IP right now.
That exactly the point. So what's the harm in uploading those old shows?
So the problem could be, and I don't know, right? Like, obviously I have no idea, but like, I don't know if they have these things readily available or if they're locked away or if it's on some kind of medium that they'd have to transfer to a different medium to make it digital to be able to put it on YouTube. I don't know.
But the world has converted them to digital already for them. They reach out to the right person. People are pirating this crap all the time.
All I want in my life right now is G.I. Joe with commentation. Like, oh my, I want that so bad.
To just hire some voice actors, John, and have them do it for you. And then I want to start uploading it yourself. Free. No, you should write it and create it yourself.
Oh my God. That would be hilarious. Okay, I'm not going to say I don't have a lot of time on my hands right now. But I mean, I do and I don't because, family takes up quite a bit of time.
You don't have this much time on your hands, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but man, I would love to just watch G.I. Joe and just write the commentators' remarks. Oh my God, that would be. Oh,
you could do it. You could just do all the voices yourself, John.
No, I am not. Look,
this might be the funniest thing you've ever made on the internet.
No. It would be so cringeworthy because I can't do voices.
That's why it'd be great.
Oh no, it would be so cringeworthy.
Just do one of these for me.
No. Well, if I did, it would have to be like the two characters talking would have to be like the throwaway characters, like the ones that are like part of Cobra but wear the mask and are guaranteed like the only people that actually get hit by these laser guns. It'd have to be 2 of them, and the backstory would be that like they are always in every single episode. You just don't know it because they're under the masks. And so they're doing they're commenting on the show because they're around all this stuff and they could make fun of all the big characters out there.
Sounds like a thing, John.
Or Dave, what you and I could do. You used to come up with like terrible podcast ideas or amazing ones, depending on how you look at it. So I've been listening to the Girls of the Office a lot, which by the way, my podcast backlog is so long right now because of this. And I listened at like 1.8 speed to try to get through these.
Girls of the Office, everybody. Girls of the Office. The podcast is called Office Ladies.
Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's great. It is great. I love it, and I love The Office.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to that. So we could do that. So we do their show, but like you and I were 2 of the actors in G.I. Joe. And we just talk through so we'll watch an episode and then we will sit there and talk about, like, take notes and talk about like the funny quote things that happened and how many takes it took. And, oh, did you notice this continuity problem? And, oh, so like there's one I was listening to today where Rainn Wilson was in a box, and you come to find out it wasn't him in the box the entire time. It was like their props guy or whatever. And we could have little things like, oh, the guy that played Cobra Commander always was sick this day. So that's actually, I don't know, Neil Patrick Harris in that thing right there, because this was before he was known and whatever, whatever. Like, this could be an amazing idea. Like, this could be a legitimately hilarious idea to do.
That neither one of us is nearly talented enough to make it that good.
No, we could.
Okay, say this.
I think we could. And I think also it would also give us like both an excuse to watch every single episode of G.I. Joe. The problem is I can't get a hold of it. I can't get a hold of it legally or otherwise. I can't find it.
Yeah, well, it's what it is.
But Joe. I want to. I want to do this. Now, this is the new thing I want to do. This is so good.
Screw our Return of Forget Being Cool podcast.
Yes, I just want to watch G.I. Joe and give fake behind the scenes moments for it.
Just throw away this podcast. Just never air it. Okay.
Oh.
John, you had more things on your list.
No, that was it. Although I thought that, I needed to talk to you about the picture you made today.
I mean, I didn't make it entirely, but I had made.
Okay, so you had this picture made, however that was done. And you asked me. Here's what's funny. You asked me what my wife's favorite animal was.
Break this down for everybody.
Okay, so the picture itself is three groups of us. So it's me and my wife. There's Dave and Rachel, and there's
Jeff and his wife.
Jeff and his wife, right? And we're all different animals from Animal Crossing and whatever else. So earlier today, I'm at the grocery store, like stupid early, trying to make sure I beat the lines. And Dave asked me what my wife's favorite animal is. Well, and right now her favorite animal is a sloth. He has all kinds of sloth stuff and whatever else. It seems to be I say the flavor of the week, but it's the flavor of the last few years. And she also really loves kittens. I didn't know why you were asking this, right?
Right. Which was intentional, mind you.
Yeah. And then so later you ask what color her eyes are, and then you ask what color my eyes are, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And you're like, something fun. I'm like, okay. So I finally see this, and it's a great picture. Here's the two weird things. So first of all, my wife in this is a sloth, which the reason behind it makes sense. But I had someone point out to me, they're like, oh my God, your wife's a sloth. And I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds bad, right? Like,
I realized that, and I almost went with the kitten thing, but the kitten thing seemed too boring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I get it. Right. So then I'm looking at me, and at some point I zoomed in so I could show and Amy the different groups, and I zoomed in on her and I looked at her right out of a tail, and I'm like, what am I? I'm like, why am I a seal? So I asked you, I could not figure out why, for the life of me, you had made me a seal. So you told me because of the Navy SEAL. So, which I respect, and it's fine. I can be a SEAL. I'm happy with SEALs. I enjoy SEAls. Here's the thing. First of all, Navy SEALs, very distinct group of people that I could never make it in ever.
I realized.
Secondly, here's what you should have done. If you had been like, I want to do something Navy related, what animal should I have done? This is what I would have told you.
Okay.
A squid. Because I'm a submariner, and that is like I don't know if it's derogatory or not. I've never met a submariner that cares to be if he's called a squid or not. But it's just one of the things you call submariners is squids.
Okay.
But it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I loved it. It was a great picture.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I'm a seal. So
you're a cowboy seal, to be clear.
I did see that. I did see that as a cowboy seal. Yeah. How's Animal Crossing going for you?
I love Animal Crossing. It's my favorite video game right now. I had a moment this morning where I had to, log on and get my rotten turnips so I could get ants. Right?
Yeah.
I just boot the game up right before I had to leave, and I was like, there was this moment where I just kind of like sat there and went, I really don't want to just shut this game down right now. Like, I just want to sit here and play this, like, all day. And that's a really weird feeling with the game right now, right? But, like, and I don't, very few games in the last decade have caught me this way. But I was just like, it actually makes me sad that I had to put this game down and go do something else.
So I've gotten to the point where, like, if I'm just sitting there not doing something else, I will pull it out and start playing it. Right? Like
let me address a couple things.
Okay.
That are 100% true about this game.
Okay.
It is a baby game. The dialogue trees are terrible. I press A way too much. I've seen the same jokes too many times. Crafting things takes forever, especially when you're trying to craft things in bulk.
Yeah.
To sell things. There are a bazillion problems with this game, John.
Sure.
But I love it. I absolutely love this game. And I don't care how broken some of this stuff is. Every time I try to dig a hole with the shovel and turn, and it doesn't go where it should have gone, it's incredibly infuriating. And about 2 seconds later, I'm laughing because my guy has bandages on his face. Like, so as broken and crappy as a game that it, like, on its core, it's not a very good game. Like, if we're going to judge it on the quality standards of video games, it's a really badly, poorly designed game that has more issues than anybody should ever have in any game. But it makes me smile more than it makes me angry.
So like, one of the big things I want right now, because I paid off my house, and I'm sad that it hasn't, like, I can't get the rooms bigger. Like, it's just not an option.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a few things, big things I want right now. So I'm trying to complete, my museum, which I did catch a blue marlin finally today. I want to get a couple different villagers. I got 2 I'm trying to get rid of, and I'm trying all the tricks. And now I'm going back to what I tried before, which is just ignore them and talk to everyone else.
That's what you're supposed to do. Ignore them. They build neglect points, apparently.
I kicked Ryan off my island because he's just not playing.
Yeah, I went in Ryan's house yesterday and was like, yep, this is the same. I thought this was another house. Boring.
Yeah, no, he hasn't done much. He may or may not get back into it. If he wants to come back in at some point, he can come back in or make his own, whatever he wants. So I kicked him out. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can build a house and then go get someone else to move in. Like, that's my goal, is to give me another slot for someone to move in.
Don't think that's how it works.
It is. Because you can have 10 people, including yourself. So right now, I had 10. I kicked out Ryan. I have an open spot now.
Oh, the 10 slots includes you and the other people who live on your island. Like, yes. The people.
Yeah.
I did not realize that, but that's okay.
Yeah, so I'm hoping tomorrow. It wouldn't let me build a new house yet, so I'm hoping I can do that tomorrow. Besides that, I'm just trying to do terraforming, and I'm terrible at it. Like, your island looks so much cooler than mine. I'm assuming from Rachel terraforming and whatever else.
I hate terraforming. It never works the way I want it to. Rachel did all the cool things, like my little waterfall you can jump over, and she built the little jumpy paths across the river. So instead of having to have bridges, there's little places where you can jump over, where it would be more convenient to jump across, like, on a regular basis, but you don't really want to build a bridge there. So, like, those are really nice. She went in and added a bunch of fences and little flower gardens, which is great, except, like, today people started data mining the game, and we're probably getting vegetables and bushes, which means we're going to have to start planting more stuff, which means I'm going to need that space.
So this is the thing. This is what I want. Like, I have put a whole lot of hours into this game. Like, I have put I don't know what the hour count is right now. I'm well over 100 and something hours. I've put many hours into this game. I so badly want new things now, which maybe is crap to ask for, right? But I want something new to grow or something, right? But what I want more than anything is Nintendo collectible stuff, and I have not seen anyone post anything about them on Twitter.
Nope, we don't have it yet.
which is I don't it I'm almost pulling my hair out because so the way my house is designed, like the upstairs is a studio apartment, so it's got the kitchen in the bedroom. Downstairs, like the main part of the house, like the other part of the room, I'm gonna change around some. But I have one room that's my workshop. It's the only room that looks pretty sweet. One room is a music room, which I'm still missing a lot of things.
That's what my main room is right now, but it's also full of diner stuff because I've collected a lot of diner stuff. So
my diner stuff's in there too.
I'm gonna make a diner room, I think, because I acquired like a diner bench and a bunch of diner chairs, and I just have this stuff.
So I think what I'm gonna do is so there's a bathroom that also has like the washing machine in it. So I've got a shower, 2 toilets, a bidet, random bathroom stuff. I
have a porta potty in my bathroom, as well as a toilet, and the wheelchair that I bought from your Nook's Cranny, because that's hilarious.
So my basement though is supposed to be my game collection room. Like that's where all my Nintendo stuff is supposed to go, but it's not out yet. So right now I have a foosball table and I have a pinball table and this like really crappy little TV on my wall.
I don't have a TV.
All I have in there.
I haven't found a TV.
Oh, don't worry. You don't want this one.
On Friday.
This one, I.
Do you know about the aliens?
It's terrible. What?
Do you not know about the aliens?
No, what are you talking about?
So go on Friday night at 3:33 in the morning.
Okay.
And go into your house and go watch your TV.
Okay.
There's an alien message to watch that happens once a week at 3:33 in the morning.
Does it do anything for you?
No, but there's a
message. Okay, then I'm not getting up at 3:33 to do that.
Well, go watch it on YouTube because there's an alien message.
Okay, I'll have to do that. I'm not going to go watch it on there. Anyway, I think I'm going to turn my downstairs into a diner because I don't have that much gaming stuff to put down there yet.
It's definitely going to be...
It's frustrating.
It's definitely going to be my music room when I get my basement, but I don't have my basement yet because I paid for all the bridges and all the lot plants, and Rachel helped with the bridges. But I had to put down all the plots of land for the houses and get all the materials for Nook's Cranny, and I spent my money on a lot of stuff, and I built more bridges than we needed, but like I like having bridges. And then I spent significant amounts of my time like I was making paths, and I leveled my entire like all my trees. The other day I went in and I chopped down all my trees. All the trees.
Why?
John, because I wanted to rearrange them, and I could have ate fruit and replanted them, but you can only carry so many slots in your inventory at once. So I just decided I was just going to cut them all down. I kept 10 hardwood trees because we were still collecting cherry blossom things from the whatevers, but I could get those, and I rearranged them all perfectly. You've been on my island, I think, since. Like I've got these perfectly little arranged orchards of all the kinds of trees so that I get a perfect amount of fruit so that I can sell it. This is a thing, John. But I spent like a whole day working on that, like replanting, digging the holes exactly the right way, making everything perfect.
Dave, yes. Okay, this is my last question, and then we gotta start getting out of here.
Oh, do we? I mean, we don't have to, John. We could just keep going.
Sure, but that would be terrible. Have you pooped out fruit yet?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
It's hilarious.
Ryan was laughing so hard when I pooped out fruit.
Yes.
That's it.
That takes care of that, John. This has been Forget Being Cool for April 20th, 2020. My name's Dave Moore. This is the Forget Being Cool podcast. Of course, you can get all our shows when they come back at forgetbeingcool.com. And you can follow John at Johnny Casino. You can follow me and Tell You Dave, where you can see my artwork that I made with the help of people who are more talented than I am. I'm a monkey. I'm happy to be a monkey. My mouth's a little weird, but I kind of like it.
Okay, Dave.
Oh, and we're supposed to get out of here?
I thought we gotta go.
I thought we were gonna keep going. That's it, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. For another Forget Being Cool podcast. I'm Dave Moore. That's Johnny Casino. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
For more great discussions, hit that subscribe button or visit forgetbeingcool.com.